Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing my natural brow routine. So in everyday life, I get a lot of questions about my brows. Like, oh, I really like your brows. What do you use? What type of products do you use? And typically I try to quickly run down like what I do in the morning. Some people ask me like, how long does it take to do your brows? And I'm like, it takes like 5 minutes. It doesn't take very long. And they're like, wow, you really have nice brows. I really wish I had thick brows. I really wish I could achieve this look or whatever the case is. And I'm just like, boo, if you only knew the struggle brows underneath what you are seeing, you too could achieve this. I know that a lot of people on YouTube have brow routines, and I've seen quite a few of them. And the thing that differs between my brow routine and possibly somebody else's brow routine is that I don't do the Instagram brow. And the Instagram brow is like the super carved out concealer on the top, concealer on the bottom, really sharp, could cut you if it wanted to type brow. I don't do that every day. So I do a really natural brow. Well, what I consider really natural, it's all, perspective, but what I consider a really natural brow, and I need to, fill in these struggle brows. Like I don't go anywhere without filling them in. Pretty much. So if you guys want to see how I fill in these struggle brows and get these babies, snatched to perfection, get this information, just keep watching. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to take a blush brush or some type of powder brush, and I'm going to dip it in my translucent powder. So it looks like this. And I put this all over my brows, like so. And the reason I do this is because I am oily. If you are not oily, you don't have to do this. My T-zone and my eyebrows get really oily throughout the day. So to prevent that from happening, I put a light coat of powder on my eyebrows. Right now, I'm just combing through them with a spoolie. This is actually a broken brow definer. It's broken. I used it all up and then it like snapped in half. So it works perfectly for this. I just use the spoolie end of this just to comb through my brows and to make sure that there's no translucent particles, sitting on my brows. I really want to keep my brows looking matte. So next I take Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow. I know this is a throwback, especially since I just showed you all a broken brow definer. In the past, I used Dipbrow a whole lot, and this is in the color dark brown. I don't do ebony because I just feel like it's too harsh. You don't have to use Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have used Benefit's Cabrow. I have used a lot of different things, and I like Benefit as well. Like, I think they make good brow products too. So what you want to do is just kind of look at your brows and think like, where do I need to fill them in? Where are they most sparse? And kind of, examine your brows. I forgot what that cliche is. Your brows are cousins, not sisters, right? So you'll notice like this brow is it's not super high, but it's a lot higher than this brow. The goal is to make them look as similar as possible, but you're never gonna get them looking perfect. You know what I'm saying? And to try to achieve perfect brows is just something I just don't have time for. So what I like to do is I just like to take this brush. It's a really cheap brush from the drugstore, and it's an angled brush. You can use whatever angle brush you have, or if you like the brow definer or Brow Wiz or Cabrow or whatever it is, use that. It's the same technique, but just using a different product. So what I like to do is I just like to take a smidge. So literally I just want to tap, 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 tap into the dip brow. Like I don't want too much pigment. You can always build it up. It's harder to take it away, but you can always build it up. And I like to start just about here, up in here. I don't start all the way here because that would be too strong of a brow. I like to start right up in here and just do a line down the sides, or down the bottom, not the side. What am I talking about? So I'm already starting to carve out the shape of my eyebrow. I always think that it's easiest to do the bottom or underside of your eyebrow than it is to do the top first. But that's just, you know, my observation, like my perspective on things. So once I kind of get the brow filled in and the bottom and kind of start working with the shape, I start with the tail end of the brow. So I kind of start where like my arch would be, and I kind of do this. So you can see it's already starting to take form, and I just keep on adding more product as I need it. Because again, it's easier to build up than it is to take away. And my brows are already starting to come together. So I just keep doing this until my brows are filled in. So I like to make the tail end of my brow the darkest and focus a lot more of the product on the tail end than I do at the beginning of my brow, because the beginning of my brow has more hair and it doesn't really need as much product. You know what I'm saying? But if your brow is thin throughout, you may have to adjust, you know, how you're filling in your brow to make it look attractive for you on your face shape, you know? So as I'm doing this, I like to grab my spoolie and just kind of brush through. And this is how you keep your brows looking natural, is you add a little bit of product, you kind of get the shape, brush it through, so there's not like, you know, dark patches in your brow. It keeps it looking more natural. Like if you make a mistake and you put too much product here, you can kind of brush through it and like even it out and make it less harsh. So I just like to work with my brow until I get to the desired shape that I like. And I think this is what I like. So let's work on the other brow. So the other brow has a different shape. This brow, the arch isn't as high, it just kind of goes down, and then it's like this little weird tail thing. So I have to do more manipulation with this brow to make it more similar to this one. Again, I'm not going to stress out if my brows don't look exactly alike. Like, my face is not symmetrical anyway, so I'm not going to stress myself out trying to achieve this symmetrical look that I just don't have anyway. So anyway, I am doing the same technique. I start at the bottom and kind of get the shape. Brows, I grab concealer to clean up my brows. I see some people using foundation, some people use concealer. It's whatever works best for you. Maybe I'll do a throwback today. I'll use the LA Girl Pro Concealer. I haven't seen people use this in a long time, which is so interesting to me because this is still my staple in my makeup collection. I don't know about you guys, but I still use this. This, you know, $3.99 concealer still works for me, and it is in the color Fawn. So I just squeeze the product, and then I go underneath my brow. And it just makes it so easy. You know you that bitch when you cause all this conversation. You know you that bitch when you cause all this conversation. My daddy Alabama, my daddy Alabama, my daddy Alabama. And this is how I just clean up the bottom half of my brow. My daddy, my daddy, my daddy. So same thing. I'm gonna take a little bit of the LA Girl Pro Concealer because it is just a staple in my collection still. And I know people on YouTube don't use this anymore, but whatever, I still use it. I think it's still a pretty good product, and it's like $3.99. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you all took something away from this really quick, really easy brow routine. When I tell you that I do this every single morning, I do this every single morning. And I'm telling you guys that it does not take this long. You know, this tutorial, I'm moving a lot slower, so it might seem like it takes a longer time than it actually does. I knocked this out in about 5 minutes. So I have like an allotted 20 minutes to do makeup and to do hair and to get myself together. So when people are always just like, wow, how long does it take you to get ready in the morning when you put on brows every single morning and you put on lashes? And I'm like, oh, boo, I have this down to a science. And if you're like, T, I don't have Anastasia Beverly Hills. Like my budget only allots for like NYX. The NYX it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's more about the technique than it is about the product. But you can achieve these results with anything across any brand, just as long as it's a quality product. It's more about the technique than it is about the specifics. Like, is it a pomade? Is it a brow definer? Is it a brow wiz? Is it this? Is it that? You know what I mean? It's more about the quality of the product and the technique. Don't let these, perfect brows and these little mini tutorials on Instagram and Snapchat make you feel like you have to achieve the exact same thing to be on fleek. I'm here to tell you you're on fleek any day of the week with or without brows. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you guys took something away from it. If you all want to join the family, you know where that subscribe button is. Go ahead and click that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in my very next video. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
Hot sauce in my veins. I got hot sauce,